Radio 760 WJR. I'm Val Berry. Bill McAllister is with me. Good morning,
Val.
Bill. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So listen, I want to kick this right off, really, about the vaccine situation. Just touching on it. First of all, happy Friday, everybody. We have arrived. And another thing is Friday for you what Friday was? You're at home. What's the joy in seeing Friday anymore?
I still look forward to the weekend. There's no reason to. It just sort of all bleeds together. But it really sort of just, I still look at it as the weekend. I still get happy that it's Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's
Friday,
just me.
Night at the house. So yeah, we're ready to roll.
Maybe it's just me. I'm the only one that goes, yeah. All right. It's here again. Okay. Now, getting back on my first topic, we were talking about the vaccine situation and the fact that Michigan vaccine shipments have been delayed. This is because of the weather. We can expect most everything to be delayed because of the weather. But more importantly, the vaccine shipment has been delayed. And with all the problems that it does have, we have an expert, Leanne Odom. She's president of shared services with Beaumont Health. She's here to answer some questions about that. Good morning, Leanne.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am well.
Thank you so much for allowing us some time here on the Frank Beckman Show. Listen, I want to get right into it and just ask you, of course, there's a delay. We would expect a delay with all the shipment. We can't even get packages, normal packages. Is there really a problem outside of that? And how are you guys handling it to make sure people understand you're going to get your vaccines?
Those are all great questions, and I think you made a really good point, particularly in our geographic area. This is Michigan, right? And we know that this happens, and we I think collectively try to plan accordingly. I think the issue that we've been struggling with across many states, but certainly we're feeling it here in southeastern Michigan, is there's such a high demand for the vaccine.
Well, good Friday morning to you guys. Welcome back to the Frank Beckman Show. This is News Talk 760 WJR. I'm Val Berry here with you, and Bill McAllister on my side. We are joining you for this Friday morning and talking about a few things. We got on the vaccine, which is really, really hitting home. And, of course, Ted Cruz packing a bag and going off to Cancun. The frustrating thing for me, and it hits me personally, with the cost of college going up. I have a son now who was at Virginia, Liberty University in Virginia, and had to come on home, made some different decisions, but we're still on the hook for the money. And it just keeps going up and going up to me. We have an expert here to talk about what's going on, 1-800-859-0957 if you want to chime in. But Jarrett Skorup, Director of Marketing and Communication for the Mackinac Center, is here to talk about, is it really going up? You get a handful of people who say, no, not really. But then us middle classers who say, no, really, there's a hike. Are you there, Jarrett?
I am here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So there is a hike. Is it not? Is it just in my head?
It is not in your head.
Thank you.
There has been a large increase in student debt, and that's driven by higher costs for college. So college has increased about twice the rate of inflation over the last couple of decades. That may be slowing down now. It'll be really interesting coming out of COVID, but it's higher tuition, which has led to more student debt in the country.
Earlier this month, Governor Gretchen Whitmer gave the go-ahead for restaurants to reopen, albeit at 25% capacity and with a 10 p.m. curfew. But it's not good enough. It really isn't. A lot of restaurants aren't even opening back up because by the time you pay for your product, pay for employees' salaries and lighting and gas and everything else, you might actually lose money by opening the doors to that limited capacity. And the industry really is suffering. It really is. It's terrible. And here to tell us about a new proposed plan is Justin Winslow. He's the president and CEO of the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. Welcome to the Frank Beckman Show, Justin.
I don't think we just have him just yet.
Oh, he's not there yet.
I don't think he's on just yet. But when you talking about the restaurant whole thing, now I am a person who, pre-COVID, I was not a restaurant person. I don't go out to restaurants. And the reason that is because
this is pre-COVID, to clarify.
That's what I'm saying. Pre-COVID, I am not a person that you would probably find in a restaurant because I have issues with germs. You know, all of you guys just caught up with me, but I have always been this way. We all have our problems.
So you were on the cutting edge. You're ahead of the game.
We all have our problems. That is Val's. So I wasn't a person that you find sitting in a restaurant. But here's my deal.
Sure.
You've been in the restaurant business, right? I think you told me that, you know, at some point you know the workings of how a restaurant goes.
I do.
Honestly, at the percentage she's talking about, just you running your restaurant, I don't think you can do that.
It's not viable. 25% capacity is not a good business plan, to say that. But again, by the time you pay all of your bills, your overhead, everything, waste you figure that into your budget in a restaurant. You figure waste and theft. You know, every restaurant has theft. They just do. It's just a fact. So you figure that into your budget. And if you're at 25% and you're clearly not going to have a full staff that you normally would, but you're still paying those employees. You still got to turn on the lights. You still got to fire up the gas stove. In a lot of cases, you're not going to make money that way. You just aren't.
So how is it going to work?
Well, the numbers have been going down. You look at the case numbers, you look at deaths, those numbers are coming down. Are there variants out there that they're saying, like, we don't fully know what those are capable of?
Sure.
Yes. And as of a couple days ago, there were 90, maybe 100 cases of this new variant.
Yeah.
So they really don't know what the reaction is going to be to those and the vaccine's effect on those. But you are trying to get that capacity. I mean, really, even 50% it's not great, but obviously it's better than 25. But that's the only answer. The only answer is more people in the seats.
But here's the thing. Even with saying that and our numbers going down, do you think people really are at a point where they would go and sit down in a restaurant? I mean, I can't, because, you know, I have a different brain, so I don't do it anyway. But
sure.
With COVID, the variant unleashed now, do you really think people are liable to go and sit in a restaurant and eat?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there are people in restaurants.
There are people, but is there enough? I don't think. Still, you have to deal with the fear that folk do not want to go in a restaurant,
of course,
and sit and eat.
Well, I would be willing to bet that there are enough people that want to, who will satisfy that 25%. And Justin is here with us. Again, Justin Winslow, President and CEO of the Restaurant and Lodging Association. Are you there, Justin?